it's not religion per se which had these views. No religion in this world, I am very sure, though I have very limited knowledge, I am very sure no religion will ask you to do things with nature that we are doing today. No religion will ask you. Every religion will necessarily ask you to accept nature as it is. In fact, I know for sure that Quran makes it very clear, talking very specifically about trees and rivers as how they are manifestations of God themselves. So should be respected. I am sure that Bible will ask you to respect nature. That is there. But this nature as oppressor has to do more with a particular culture which arises at a particular juncture of human history. As I keep saying, if a man is happy with what he has around him, then there is no problem. The problem comes when he wants more and he sees around and he sees that okay, he can exploit it for his benefit. Man, when he comes out of his individual shell and tries to dominate over others using power, muscle power. Second, using any one of the resources which he has, money and other things. These problems arise. Then you start thinking nature as an oppressor which is stopping you from doing something. Yesterday night I was watching that engineering Marvel series. There was Panama Canal which was mentioned. Immediately spread. Why should Atlantic and Pacific now be joined? If they have to join, they will join in the due course of time. But you are not satisfied with it. You want to break that land which is in between and want to make Atlantic and Pacific meet. Why? No other reason but business. Profit, money. These are the culprits. Have you ever been these days to Hampi? You have to go through a town called Hospet, which is the center of mining in Karnataka. If you see that town, everywhere you find 1 inch of dust because the mining lorries are carrying ore day out and day. Why do we get such ideas of taking land away and giving it to someone else? When man wants to accumulate money because he thinks that is one resource with which he can get something. If you ask any rich guy who is making lots of money using all these ways, he will say, actually I don't want that much money. But you know, I am in such a circumstance where I need to do all this. As man crosses his limit, he wants to accumulate more, I think he sees these things as an oppressor. So I directly do not want to blame religions. No religion as such will do this. But a culture change at a particular point of time in history has forced people to do nature as a oppressor. Which, for example, in capitalist economies, it is glorified as victory of humans over nature. They don't see that as oppression over nature, they see it as victory. Those ideas have come up because of those things. Accumulation of wealth, why do you need wealth? More wealth, because we have access to power, why do you need power? All those complicated questions. So I am not ready to blame religion. Second question is the predictive question. Which is the right direction for a technology? I can answer this. As technologists, I think we need to answer this question. If I build a technology, what is the right way in which it should be used? People who have been designing machines, who are coming up with new inventions, and who are developing software, think that they have the divine right to tell us how to use the machine or the product. For example, if you get a new TV or if you get a new computer, you are not supposed to do anything and everything with your computer. You can't just open up your box and do whatever you want to get a private computer. They will tell you what to do with your machine. Same idea later reflected with software also. When people said, why are they not giving source code? They said, it's obvious. You go to KFC and eat whatever you want, but will KFC tell you what is that secret recipe? No. Simple logic. If you want to come taste and go. Similarly, if you want software, use the software. No, why think about how it is done, source code and all? Why? That kind of question. So what is the right direction for a technology? I understand it like this. The technologies have tried to impose the way in which it should be used. But as I keep saying, humans by nature want to explore things in very new ways. None of us will stick to guidelines in which we have used a technology in a particular way. We try to experiment a lot. And experimenting gives us new possibilities. Which record story can you translate? Which story? Which story? Which or normal Wix? Remember that story?
Yes.
Wix was how it was supposed to be used. Wix was a rub bomb. You had to rub it. You place it here, rub. But people will not use it. They'll take hot water. Put Wix in there. Take a blanket. Wix didn't say you should do that. You are doing it. So people have to be, they are experimental by nature. If you tell them to do something, they will not do that. They will try all possibilities and do. But the point is, should the technologists be blameworthy for it? That's the question. For example, technology going wrong, who is responsible? That is the question. If the technology is going in the right way, if everybody is in the technology in the right way, nobody will have a problem. Problem comes when there is a technology which is misused. Who is responsible? Whether the inventor should be blamed. This question. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಎರಡು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇದೆ, yes and no. Part of the safety measures is the inventor's responsibility. For example, if you ask me, what kind of mindset provoked that person to make AK-47 rifles? There is a mindset that you should prepare a massive killing machine, which could easily be misused. He could have built some safety measures. For example, bullets coming out of the machine, it does not come in that speed interval. He could make it a little bit slow, so that the overall effect would be minimal, unlike what if you hit into it. So that part is blameworthy. But if somebody takes a rifle and simply shoots it on public and kills so many people, he is not blameworthy. To a certain level, a technologist is a blameworthy. You can blame him. But a technologist cannot take the entire burden of how people will use it later. He can't force it. He is not a futurist. He can't expect he can't understand all the conditions in which people will use the technology and make appropriate designs there. As far as possible, minimal safety measures whichever he can take, he should take. For example, a builder, when he is building a building, he should study the flow of air, he should study the soil, he should study whether the region comes under the earthquake belt. He should study all of that. Safety measures he should take in design the building. Suddenly there is something coming. And then the building comes down, he is not ready. Which is totally unexpected. So some amount of liability is there on technologies, but not complete. But that should not be taken as an excuse for technologists to say I take everything like what most of the computer scientists do. It's very unfortunate that including you in the sense I am not speaking of you individually, but collectively, people who are graduating out are not sensitized towards what is their major responsibility, what is their professional duty, what should they do, what is their basic right. Before law, for example, you design a software and something goes wrong and you go to court. What happens later? Are you legally liable? What protection you have? What are your duties? What are your responsibilities? What are your rights? It's not taught. Even if it is introduced in some way, people don't respect it. That's unfortunate. So, I would answer, the right direction for technology is decided by the times and the place in which technologies are used. Nobody can direct it. Everybody believes that there is something beyond. You call it by anything, which controls everything. The hardcore capitalist group actually was not capitalist group. I don't know why people consider that. He was actually a moral philosopher. He talked about invisible hand controlling markets. He was a moral philosopher. But somehow he has become the king of the ultimate guru of capitalism. Anyway, so what I am trying to say is, there will be some invisible forces which you don't know how they act, which will decide the course of technology, like our lives. I am very sure when you are young, you will decide that one day you will be sitting in such an institute and hearing, and we hear such boring lectures. Did you imagine? No. You would have imagined something else. I had this great dream that one day I will have this, and only one thing I was doing when I was reading. So my ultimate aim in life was that to have this very big library, books and books and books around. And I simply sit there and read all the time. Nobody was making my mother not bothering me. My mother had made me a condition that I was reading a lot when I was young. She had made a specific condition. You should read only one book a day, first condition. I was like only one book a day, I would read very fast and what to do the rest of the times. I didn't have any other thing to do when I was young. I needed more books. So my ultimate dream was that I will open a library, or better still, I will own so many books. How I can know? That I'll sit someday and only read and read. Or after some time growing something, you want to become something else. Very young, we have some other dreams, very, very small. You want to become a rickshaw driver, or you want to become a person selling ice creams outside. We all have that. And after entering PUC, we will have some great ideas. After 10th and everything, we will have some great ideas. No? Very world-changing ideas. I will do that, I will do this and all. After getting our PU marks, we will come. Okay. Plus 2 marks will show us our real place in some sense. I wanted to study astronomy. My mother said, no, going to Pune, you should stay here. Like that, everybody's life will take different turns. While studying engineering, I never had dreamed that I will become a teacher. Never in my life. I think my mother had a shock of her life when I said that I am not joining the company and I will become a teacher. You would have, like all mothers, thought that my son is an engineer now. He'll become an engineer. 2 years in America, and then I'll get him married. And I have grandchildren, and we'll all stay happy. I have no nothing like a third teacher. So like that, I think something will change the course and you will try to accept them as their maturity. At a point of time, we will say that we will decide the course. Then you will say, okay, so what happens will be happen. Technology also same thing, life also same thing. Yes. So I am done with it. You have it.
So you always mention in your lectures that the internet is the new modern means of freedom, and big corporation, whatever it is, they kind of fear this freedom kind of medium. And the thing is, like, okay, we've been abusing, for example, the BitTorrent networks, the P2P networks, to which make it very difficult for sensitive data, for example, WikiLeaks information, etc. There are a lot of technologies that sort of help in keeping this whole freedom philosophy going, and corporations not being able to break it down, whatever. My question is, how long will this actually go on? And at the end of the day, they're in actual real servers which can be brought down or whatever it is. When are we going to lose this power? There are actually specific things. It's always philosophically said that yes, freedom, it's a ground that nobody can be tracked or whatever it is, something like that. But specific things like torrent networks, P2P, and how long will this actually crash someday, and we lose this freedom of that we're abusing today?
Okay. See, this technology has this very strange characteristic. Technology changes the way you see the world. I'll give one concrete example. You play music in your PC. Say that you are playing flute. Say you are playing flute, an instrumental piece. You are playing flute music in your computer. Now, strangely, computer, the machine, can actually take some other music and change it in some way and produce this effect of flute for you. What I am saying is, originally that piece which you were playing was not flute music, but some other wind instrument. But the machine has the ability to change that reality and present it to you as if it was a flute. Not that machine has its own intelligence. I have a more concrete example. You search something on Google and you get some result. What do you start believing? For example, you search my name. You Google Krishna Raj. You get some information. What will you get? Something. You tend to believe it. No? Technology, especially the internet technologies, have a strange way of creating a world within you. You are not understanding the battle of search engines. Search engine is the battle which is being fought today, because tomorrow the world view is created through search engines. Internet being this whole big store of information, you enter it through search engine. So whatever you get in search engines is what you tend to believe is true. It's more dangerous. There is something called as predictive search. What it is called in Google is Google Suggest. You type something, Krishna Raj. If there are more entries in my name as he is a sadist, he is bad, the moment you press Krishna Raj space, you will get sadist. Actually, that means somehow the whole worldview is being manipulated with technology. Why I am saying this is, by and large, I keep saying this, is very disciplined. On the one hand, it seems that you are floating in this no man's land with nobody watching you. It creates that illusion. On the other hand, you can be easily tracked and your every click of your mouse can be traced back to you. And technology has this very strange power within it. You know, when internet first came, for a long time, some of us, even today, we believe that internet is the ultimate playground which should be protected for freedom. It's the ultimate playground which needs to be protected. How do I protect that? Increasingly, the governments are pressurizing everyone to part with the freedom. What happened with two people, Pirate Bay and the WikiLeaks, should make us think on actually what is the kind of technologies that we are creating. What happened with Pirate Bay? What happened with WikiLeaks? Some senator makes a phone call and within no time they put the server down. That happened with WikiLeaks. A senator called, and suddenly all the people who are supporting WikiLeaks by paying money through PayPal and everything stopped. Which till then was the ultimate ground of freedom for you. One small step from an unknown senator. Done. Now imagine what would happen if governments take proactive role. What would happen? I feel that why this thing is happening, because that is the way in which after a period of time internet began to take shape. Internet for a while was the home ground of hackers. After some time, it became the fertile ground for businessmen to make money. It's a very strange thing actually. Every such work starts with a small hack job and then suddenly becomes a business proposition. The .com Google, it started. If I have to quote 3 examples, it is Google, it's Netscape and it's Facebook. Started as a small hack job, but later a business proposition. Once it becomes business proposition, then everything goes up. This hacking thing and this ideology and this philosophy is ultimately a business. If it is good for business, you will do it. If it is not good, you will not do it. That's what Google did in China. That's what is happening, we think, with Facebook. That's what happened with Pirate Bay. That's what happened with WikiLeaks. That's what is the problem. So what is the solution for this? The solution, I feel, is again going back to the hacker roots. If the hacker roots were retained, then probably we will not face this problem. Since there is a connection, I want to say. I was utterly disappointed when I watched social media. Disappointed. And I was happy also. Happy as a cinema lover. As a cinema lover, that was the biggest treat for me. Because no other technology movie was shot like that. As a cinema, I loved it. Because most of the movies in this group, if they want to make it, they'll make a dry documentary. And people who have tried to make docudramas have failed miserably. Projecting technology in right like never happened. Social network for the first time brought the cinematic values in the right way to express this story. Very interesting story. But I was disappointed about it. I was disappointed because, see, I've been telling stories probably many next class on how did this come up, how did that come up. Behind every story there is a motive. There is a motivation, a spirit of youth that's there. The boyish culture is there everywhere. But beyond that there is philosophy. There's a moral story which I can tell in the class. What do I tell about Facebook? Why did somebody start Facebook? What is story right there? Devoid completely of morality. And now people are asking question whether we should consider him as a hacker or not. I feel it's absurd. Question itself is absurd. Can't call him a hacker. I have very strong view on it. Hackers have this legacy of doing something for a larger good. Not because somebody dumped you and you want to do something and you do all sorts. That is not. See, anything which does not have a strong root will not sustain for a while. So if Facebook has come out with such beginnings, it will not last for long. Any technology with such background will not. I feel behind this P2P there is a big game which we don't see. Beyond all these stories of sharing and free, there is a much larger story behind. People who want to create a society wherein they want to track few people who they want to know, who have certain affiliations to certain things. In a real world, it's very difficult to censor and keep an eye on common man. It's very difficult. But in internet it becomes so simple. Very, very simple. And then there is this establishment also deliberately creates the myth of internet being anonymous. That's a deliberate myth which people create. They want you to believe that the internet is anonymous so that you can go and do all those pranks. There's something which is coming to my mind. I'm not talking about it. So this deliberate attempt people do make by creating this anonymity on scene and then invade your privacy in a very, very bad way. This is the effect, I think, which India is slowly waking up with the UID project, of which I am one of the biggest opponent. No one seems to even care about what is happening with the UID project. Recently when Nandan came to IISc, very few, I was there, only a handful of them were there who were opposing UID, even in a place like IISc. I think our future will depend on whether we will accept UID as it is or raise our voice.
So initially you supported UID?
Yes, because we thought that it would give us a avenue to finally bring the power of information to people. That was the initial idea. But what happened later was something beyond our wildest dreams. That has been converted into two things. One as a huge commercial project, which is broken into pieces and given to all commercial organizations. Second major problem is that we don't know what is happening. You take data, where will you store data? What format? Who will access the data? For how long will the data exist? No questions are answered. Today I read in the newspaper that in the coming days, your driving license and UID will be connected to each other. Already PDS and UID are connected. Driving license you connect, passport you connect, your gas connection you connect, everything you connect. What power are you giving to the people there? They will have enormous power. And you have to give 10 fingerprints, your iris, I don't know what. The project should start and I am hell-bent that I have not registered or whatever. So
why do you think it's wrong? It's there in the country. If you are staying in a country, this thing will be there. You should be registered in that country.
Boss, I have my passport. Driving license. Enough information about me is available. See, as an information science engineer, I think it's important for you to understand what this whole game is all about. Information in isolation is one thing, and information interconnected is something else. It gives power. Remember what Spider-Man said?
With great power comes
Great power.
great responsibility.
Exactly. Oh, I didn't read Spider-Man when we were young. But remember this. What responsibilities does the state have? I have very few questions which all actors are asking. Please tell us, how are you going to store information and what will you do with that information? Isn't there something called as privacy in this world also? People ask a very childish question. If you have nothing to hide, then why shouldn't you give information? Common sense. If you have something to hide, then only you will say I will not give information. If you are clean, then why don't you give information? That's not as simple as that. Once I give all the information, including biological and all, I have been profiling. I don't want to profile. Profiling is very bad. And then you should not see the problem with information stored in computers is one small information will stay for life, beyond my lifetime. I don't want to build such things and give all the information which people want to give about myself. Internet is becoming largely a place where we are losing our privacy. That is the reason why I have stopped blocking and put up all my photos from internet and videos. Very strange things. Reason careful. But in your camera off.
Switched off, sir.